Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated.
Bienvenidos a The Other World en la versión de ps5.
Will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber.
I hear Monarch's in need of more game hunters. If we're ever captured, I'll let you do the talking. Not much risk of injury in this profession. Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down.
Shit. Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised. Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Vale, utiliza el elevador médico. Hostia.
Bien bonito el de... Hombre,
Vale,
no.
ya vamos.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding's stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Vale, pues nos ha dado un arma y un arma cuerpo a cuerpo. Disparamos
Damage my ears! What just
y
happened?
seguimos.
Can you hear me? What in the... This...
Oh, qué chulo. Dilatación táctica del tiempo. Debido a las complicaciones derivadas de la reanimación tras un largo periodo de hibernación, tu cerebro procesa el tiempo de forma diferente. Usa el botón de dilatación táctica del tiempo para ralentizar el mundo, así tendrás tiempo para pensar y para ejecutar acciones. En este modo dispones de una cantidad de tiempo limitada. Si no te mueves, el medidor de DTT se agotará muy lentamente, pero si te desplazas y atacas, disminuirá a mayor velocidad. El medidor de DTT se va rellenando poco a poco. Dilatación táctica de tiempo.
Que están buscando todo el
Flipa.
Here before you get yourself killed.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Unauthorized access of spacefarer. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time. What can I do for you, Captain? Goodbye.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because it started making a bit of a clamor after you went in. Scared the Marauders right off. And if this ship is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Bueno, el juego realmente es curioso. Tiene unos coloridos muy divertidos. Está entretenido por un lado. Pero claro, es que lo que me pasa a mí que también que los juegos de primera persona no me suelen gustar, pero yo quería probarlo a ver qué opinaba del juego y subirlo al canal para que opinarais también vosotros. A ver qué opináis, si os gusta, si no os gusta. Aunque sea en primera persona, si os parece chulo o no. Os parece como un Borderlands, que es la pinta que tiene, mezclado con algún otro juego. Menos mal que no me lo compré en su momento porque en primera persona pues me hubiera arrepentido después. O quizá no, a lo mejor cuando vas jugando os va molando bastante más, quién sabe. Vale, tenemos que ir al punto verde.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up.
Vale. Ahí vemos un punto verde para entrar y ya hay varias misiones secundarias como encontrar a los 4 tipos que nos ha dicho. Supongo que estaban dentro de aquí.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
At least you got your health.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got it.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this one. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix the
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Hey, ma'am. Can we talk? Sorry. Can we chat?
Vale, vamos al laboratorio de botánica para hacer la misión que nos ha pedido este tipo y a ver qué tal.
That's the last of them! Look out!
Vale, bueno, han saltado algunos y están muertos.
Move along.
Okay, here we go! All right?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. Well, if it's all the same to you, then you ought to divert power over to us, shut down Reed's cannery, and scrap it for parts. I trust you will listen to your conscience. Anything else I can do for you? I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are. Remains to be seen. Might be the woman that saves the veil. Might be Reed's personal gun hand. People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength,
Y tampoco.
not the
Buenas,
will.
creo.
You seem to have both. A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. Not under Reed's watch. he and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that. That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Vale, aquí hay que tomar una decisión si eso es bueno o malo.
I could not possibly care less if he does, but you're surely welcome to ask him.
No, que no vayamos a putear a esto. ¿O qué? Vamos a ver, si somos siempre buenos, pues yo qué sé. Yo estoy cansada de hacer el bien. Ah, qué bueno. Vale, vamos a ver qué pasa. Si nos vamos al punto verde. Vamos a robar un poco. No creo que pase nada, ¿no? Vale, vamos a salir. A ver qué hago con esta tipa. Realmente no sé qué hacer porque evidentemente se ve que estos son buenos, pero no sé. Como dice ella, yo quiero los complementos para mi nave y punto. Me da igual yo que estéis metidos vosotros. Se supone... ¿Dónde está la continuación? No veo camino. Supongo que por fuera. Pero tampoco veo camino. Terminar de control maestro geotérmico. A ver, lo suyo sería volver con Red y joderle la vida a Red. Bueno, pues lo que estás viendo en el juego a mí me está gustando. O sea, el juego tiene sentido, está bastante chulo. Pero yo creo que tenemos que tomar la decisión entre si ser bueno o ser malo. Esto para empezar. Está bastante bien. O sea, ser bueno, ser malo. El juego, pues, en primera persona, como ves. Tiene mucho colorido, tiene muchos sentidos, es bonito de ver. Y bueno, pues tienes que ir tomando decisiones que son duras o no. Que según si estás en contra del tipo o con él. Pues de momento la historia es simple, que hemos llegado a un planeta, nuestra nave se ha estrellado y queremos un componente para poder volver a nuestro planeta. Ese componente lo tienen dos personas, dos civilizaciones totalmente distintas, los que viven en el pueblo y los que están fuera del pueblo. Entonces hay que elegir si quitarle la electricidad a los buenos o a los malos, por así decirlo. Entonces vamos a ver hacia dónde hacia dónde puedo desviar la electricidad, si me deja desviarla hacia un sitio o hacia otro y demás, porque no sé si me dejará desviarla hacia un determinado sitio o no. La que has visto se supone que es de los buenos y yo soy de los malos ahora mismo, pero realmente no voy con nadie porque yo solo quiero recomponer mi nave de momento. Ya cuando tome la decisión de joderles a uno u otro, pues ya estaremos decidiendo si son buenos o malos. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo paso aquí? Wow. Centinela mecanoide. Joder, cuidado, cuidado, cuidado. Tía, tiene mucha vida. Son duros, ¿eh? Vale. He oído un poco que son duritos. Y vamos a entrar a la central geotérmica y tomar la decisión de cortarle la luz a uno o cortársela a otro, supongo. Vamos a ver. No está claro, ¿eh? Aunque creo que esta es la central de ellos, de los buenos. Pero mira, ¿sabes? Que te digo que sea lo que Dios quiera. ¿Sabes? Que sea lo que Dios quiera. Vamos para allá. A ver. Redirigir el suministro. Y estado de la central. Sí, suelo hacer directos. Bueno, he llevado unos 10 que no he hecho, pero sí suelo hacer directos de seguido. Únete al canal, seguro que te gusta, es de videojuegos. Te va a gustar porque hay mucha variedad de juegos. Suelo poner cosas para que la gente los vaya viendo, distintos juegos y demás. Puede que te guste el canal. Suscríbete y hablamos. Hay gente muy maja en el canal y somos como una gran familia ya. Vale, vamos a robar todo esto porque tarde o temprano necesitaremos recursos que quizás no tengamos. Entonces, si no nos ven, podemos robar ciertas cosas. Como nos vean, estamos perdidos, ¿sabes? Vale. Se parece un poco a Borderlands, Bioshock y todo este rollo. No sé si habéis jugado alguno. Pero tiene su propio toque, su propio estilo. Y eso pues lo hace único. Vale. 2025. No puedo abrir esas taquillas porque no tengo la habilidad para poder abrirlas. Vale, desbloquear puertas. Introducir código. Código correcto. Archivos personales, archivos personales, archivos personales. Volver a inicio y salir. Vale. Vale. Pues sí. Perfecto. Suscríbete y te llegará a tu móvil y ya cuando tú te quieras te unes al directo. Cuidado con este. Con este. Ya son súper duros, tío. Yo creo que deberíamos cambiar de pistola. Vamos a ver si consigo descubrir dónde está aquí el inventario. Ostras, me he gastado la vida que llevaba. Vale, vamos a ver. Quiero cambiar de pistola acá y sé que tengo más. Sé que tengo más. Ahí sale que no, pero no. Sé que tengo más. Vale, está muerto. Enemigo asesinado. Y hay un interruptor de desvío. Parece que no, pero tiene su encanto el juego, ¿eh? Tiene su gracia. Vale. Y hágase la electricidad. Vale, ahora aquí hay más gente. Joder. Gestión de armas. Bien. Reparar objetos. Vale. Llevo esta que son 106. Y ya puedo coger pues un sable, otra pistola o lo que quiera.
Beginning security patrol.
Vale, ya veis que con el fusil nos hemos matado en segundos, cosa que con la pistola te puede costar la vida. Estamos cogiendo munición y vamos a ver. Vete, fantasma. Tenía curiosidad por probarlo y bueno, está divertido, está chulo. Vale, lo único pues en primera persona es lo único malo, que para en tercera pues sería bastante más la caña, pero bueno. Cuidado con el vapor, podrías quemarte. Vale, el vapor hay que evitarlo, ¿no? Que aquí hay un pedazo de bicho. ¡Wow! Oh, se va a gastar todas las balas con la people de aquí. Vale. Se puede utilizar en combate. ¿Sigo en combate? 18 balas. Cuidado. Vale, habrá que cambiar de sable. Puede ser buena idea. Vale, se activa válvula de emisión de vapor. El sable. Oh, a mí me molan las armas de cuerpo a cuerpo, aunque no estamos subiendo el cuerpo a cuerpo. Banco de trabajo. Te permite reparar y mejorar un arma. Ajá. Qué chulo. Vale, vamos a ver si podemos... Esa se puede reparar. De momento modificaciones no tenemos, pero más adelante sí tendremos. Así que viene bien. Usamos esto para ir arriba. La escalerilla. Y llegamos al punto 1.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Processing. Security, but... Searching for processing. Investigating. System. Searching for unauthorized persons. Performing an area sweep now. sweeping the area.
One. Incoming.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be.
Toma, porque tengo la intimidación muy subida, ¿vale? No veis, aquí veis el diálogo y la persuasión los tenemos muy subidos, ¿veis? Y lo vamos subiendo bastante, con lo cual persuadimos a los personajes y hacemos lo que nos da la gana con ellos. Tecnología y medicina vamos a subir también, liderazgo y aplomo, y 3 puntos disponibles, pues un poco el cuerpo a cuerpo que lo tenemos muy bajo. Y le damos a aplicar. Ataques potentes cuerpo a cuerpo. Mola. Bien, me gustaría saber si os está gustando el juego o qué pensáis, ponedlo en los comentarios. ¿Qué pensáis? Y nada, vamos a coger el componente que me hace falta y punto. Lo dejo sin electricidad y bueno, que se joda. Lo siento, chicas. Lo siento, pero me va a hacer la vida dura. Así que le hemos dado la electricidad a los que son buenos, que son desertores, aunque dicen que son malos, pero no es así porque este es un tío explotador que jode la vida de las personas. Entonces a este tipo cabrón no le he querido dar la electricidad y se la he dado a las personas que viven afuera, que han sufrido pues mucho maltrato y cosas. Esos son los que tienen la electricidad y este se ha jodido. Vale, vamos a ver dónde está el siguiente punto. Supongo que volver a la nave. Y algo va a pasar, porque si ya tengo lo que tenía que tener, ya no sé si me podré ir o qué pasará.
I used to skip rocks in the river till Constable Reyes ticketed me for unlicensed terraforming. I think she was jealous. She don't know how to skip rocks her own self.
Vale, vamos a llegar a la nave, que la de la nave es también una caña. La de la nave también es una caña de España. Y vamos a ver qué pasa ahora.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no, but can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain. You're fast.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now... Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Vale, ya hemos instalado el regulador de corriente, volvemos a hablar con Ada y ahí que vamos.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Venga, vamos a ver dónde vamos ahora con nuestra nave.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Vale, pues... ya. Tenemos Terrador, Escila y Monarca. Hostia, dice que atención.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Vale. Pasaje a cualquier parte, al laboratorio de Pinea. Vamos para allá.
We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
Vale, ¿y ahora qué? Vale.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be? I'll be.
Vale. Supongo que eso es para bajar, ¿no? O si estamos en el sitio de port. Coger sudario holográfico. Habla con Gladys, la pionera. Vale. Armas tecnológicas que hay que conseguir. Arma tecnológica de no sé qué, arma no sé qué. Vale. A ver si las consigo. Bueno, sé que hay un montón de cosas que se pueden robar o que se pueden coger prestadas. Vale. Voy robando todo lo que puedo. Si luego me hacen falta estas cosas. Bueno, sobre todo munición ligera. Ya sabes, se puede. Vale. Camarotes que no sirven para nada en absoluto. Una cocina que está bastante equipada para ser una nave, ¿no? Un baño bastante raro. Y bajamos por aquí. Bajamos de nuevo. A ver, con esto.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
Es acogedor.
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it.
Accurate in all particulars.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in... Hello! I am not a board-certified...
Speech recognition is one of the many skills
You're not simulating it, you're doing it!
I am gratified you consider that...
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint. You can
Vale.
do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwich. What? You want me to leave? Oh, that's a relief.
Dice, creo que es hora de que te vayas. Hostia, vamos a faltar que la echara a tomar por saco. Ha faltado poco.
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Mal.
Can we talk?
¿Qué quieres?
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named... I was thinking that maybe I ought to... I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your... Did you want to talk about something else?
Oh.
Good luck, Captain.
Hangares. Ostras, que puedes elegir hasta 2 personas. Qué guay. Mola mucho. Se puede llevar varios acompañantes. Está chulo el juego, ¿eh? Estoy empezando a cogerle su gusto.
Captain. Hey, Captain.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my work.
Customs and inspection, right this way. Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship? If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have... Not gonna lie, you're in a pickle. But, Udom's and, records show this ain't the first time your ship's been impounded. Seems to get cleared up pretty quick. You might not be in... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind... Wanda Dorset over in sickbay? Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be... Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go. On your left when you enter the promenade. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want any... You noticed, huh? What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board, all their interstellar... Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really? You sure you didn't just step up? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not big. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we... It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privilege. They got assault cruisers, guns. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
It's a tough line to walk. Sure thing. Be seeing you.
Hmm? Huh?
Picked up some weird chatter on my way in. Seemed to come from...
Oh, qué chulo, sitio más chulo, ¿no?
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one...
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
We interrupt your regular...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. Has something happened to... Oh no, this is terrible. Oh, Alex. He was my dearest friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentiment. Tell me. Oh, awful business, that. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? What? All right. Whom else would I work for? Those sublight thugs? That Tennyson woman? The board is the only force for order in this rough-and-tumble colony of ours. Without them... That's a curious question. I can't say I've ever considered how... Permit me to answer your question another way. In Byzantium, I was one among many. Here I have a measure of power and suffer little oversight. It makes for a different kind of loneliness. I understand. And I would ask the same of you, but I suspect... Indeed. And you... An apprehension of this caliber will be tremendous for my career. I'll send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium, only... Just a teensy one, the teensiest. Nothing to, lie awake. The thing is, I needed money. A lot of money. I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fence here on the Groundbreaker.
To give away something so important to you, it must have been...
I'll thank you not to question my motives, young miss. It's only temporary, of course. I'd never leave something so important in the hands of someone of such a dubious moral character. So you'll need to get my seal back from her if you want to hand Phineas over. You probably don't even know where Wells is. None of my... Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have... Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional. You've changed your mind? Fine. You see, I really do need that seal. I can't grant you access to Byzantium without it. If the board learned of my foolishness, why... I absolutely would not. The Gladys intends to sell it to the highest bidder. She's demanded and if I refuse, she'll have those goons at Sublight Salvage throw me down the waste disposal shaft. A spicy little pickle and... Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm certain Gladys... I'll be waiting eagerly for your...
Is it Mr. Wells, the fellow who woke you? How bad could he be?
I'm not going anywhere, you hear?
Hey, that's illegal.
What do you
think you're doing? Oh, I guess, never mind then.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a porch. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? She sent me a recording. Curious thing. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. If you should find his... The more we got... Don't forget to... Might want to... You'll find her fret... Depends. You got a good heart, wanting to do this for him. Frankly, I'm tired of Udom's whining. Don't kill me, please. And I'll pay, I swear. The man's been messaging me 4-5 times a day. How's a woman supposed to read her new missives when her incoming folder's all cluttered? Suit yourself. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I... Craig, law, is it hot in here? What do you... That's right, dearie. Though for how long? The board can't abide the community. They've always got one scheme or another running. But it won't work. No, ma'am. Ground... Go right ahead. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the... Because that's what the board tells. I think they made some fool mistake that would make... Groundbreaker's radiators. Miss Junley's supposed to be getting them fixed. The board can't abide the community. They've always got... But it won't work. No. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about. Anytime, sweetheart.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind you.
Are you listening to me, Emperor?
Vamos a intentar hablar con el dueño de eso, a ver qué hacemos, porque 8000 bits son muchísimas perras. Muchísimas.
Are those XF411s? And an
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal... No, it isn't. It's a mess. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers... Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find... So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer... Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust out.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name.
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with action.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if...
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You...
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, you're...
Not a problem, Captain. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumped. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Hold on. There's something you should know. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the... Sorry about the heat. Here, drink up. You're right, I don't. The board is after 2 things. I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that... The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also... Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. You've got my attention. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranties. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way...
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a...
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducks and pens... Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the ground. I was promoted only recently, when my...
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone who could answer. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. You've got my attention.
Vale, podemos hablar con ella. Hemos conseguido decir que las vamos a ayudar con una misión. No vamos a hacer nada de esto porque si no, si le robamos en toda la cara se va a liar la de Dios. Y dice que tenemos que ir a los hangares traseros. No sé exactamente si vamos a saber dónde están. Vamos a ver. Hay un montón de cosas. Grasitas.
Potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Baby's Unit Dispense Proteins for you. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock.
Paquete de pasta. Tía, qué caro todo, ¿no? Joder. Lo siento, chicas, pero hoy no es tu día. Alto. Tía, debería quitar esto. Ouch, he gastado. Vale. Vale, aquí hemos estado ya, creo. Sí.
If you're here for this week's magazine.
Que me ha dicho 8.000. Es que 8.000 es pasta, ¿eh? Muchísima pasta. Vale. Pues ya no sé si yo llegaré a saber dónde están los hangares esos. ¿Y por qué no está en el mapa especificado? O sea, ¿por qué no está en el mapa? Cuando debería estar. A ver. Vamos a ver el mapa. Aquí. Cubierta de Paseo de la Pionera. Punto de esto. Espera, lo he visto. Hangares de la Pionera. De la Pionera. Puede que sea ahí. Bueno, lo vamos a saber en el próximo vídeo que vamos a grabar. Y ya lo vamos viendo. Y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo, chicos. Hasta luego.